elan edeyim. Daha sonra estafeti artık ben götürürüm. Başla prezentasyaya.
Yes, sure. So, good evening again, everyone. There are new students here, so I will introduce myself. My name is Elçin Süleymanzadeh. I'm treasurer at SB SOE Student Chapter, and thank you all for being today with us. We are pleased to welcome and see you all here in our first day of the Master You Future program. Our honorable speaker is Nurlan Mikayilov, who is graduate from Hazar University with bachelor degree in petroleum engineering and winner of the BP scholarship. And now he's co-founder of ABROEDU. So Nurlan Bey, please, you can start.
All right, mate. First of all, thanks for your introduction. And thanks to everybody who's over here and who are interested in this presentation. Elçin, I already introduced myself, but let me just add a couple of things over there. So I had my master's degree in UK, Manchester University, with the governmental scholarship program, and with quite, maybe it's not that long, but at least 6 years of solid experience in petroleum, oil and gas engineering sphere. I had an opportunity to work with the companies such as Baker Hughes, Halliburton, Geokinetics, and different kind of internships such as Statoil and SOCAR. But again, at the end of the day, I just made the decision that I'm not that kind of person who's gonna stick with the field job, and I made my choice on a new path with education abroad procedures. So for now, as a co-founder of the ABROEDU, as an educational abroad services, I'm gonna make a couple of things. I'm gonna make a presentation that will provide a couple of things which are really important if you are planning to go abroad for studying, etc. All right, so if everyone is okay with that one, I'm going to pass to the presentation. But before that, let me just clarify a couple of things. First of all, guys, I know it's not that easy to make a time for this kind of presentations. So in order not to make you bothered with the information and presentation, please, if someone is asking a question, pay attention to those ones, because the questions could be the same ones that you want to ask, and there is no need to waste extra time on the same question. But that will not bother you and me as well, so it's gonna prevent us in wasting of the time. All right, guys, if it's everyone is okay with that one, I will pass to the presentation. All right.
All right.
Sure.
So I hope you guys see the presentation, yeah?
Actually, we don't.
Just a second. Just a second. Okay, just a minute. So can you see it now?
Yes. Yes, we do.
All right. I will try to make a slide. All right, so here we go. As I mentioned before, our company's name is ABROEDU, and today we're going to talk about the key points in terms of education abroad, what kind of programs we should look for, what are the requirements. So it's kind of outlines of the whole presentation. We're going to talk about introduction. We actually covered about this part. Our offers, acceptance letters, conditional offers that we got through this year's opportunities for education, and as I mentioned before, the key points during these procedures. So these are just a couple of the acceptance letters from different universities. For this year, I would like to make an addition to all of these acceptance letters that today we got a good news from the Padua University. One of our students achieved the internal merit scholarship provided by the Padua University on terms of computer engineering. And he also got an opportunity to be freed from the tuition payment. So these are just a couple of samples from our previously achieved acceptance letters. So the University of Cambridge, ETH Zurich, the AD program. I'm not sure if you have applied for this program, and I don't know if some of you are on the last year of the education this year, but the results are officially spread now, and a couple of our students already were selected for the DAD scholarship. So just a quick recap about our company. You can check on the Telegram channel and Instagram channel. On Telegram channel, we have two groups. So one is for only for the programs. We just try to give information and make the students be in contact with each other in terms of requirements, in terms of what kind of documentation they need and what they should do in order to apply for the program. All right, so the main question, study abroad. Many of you guys are planning in this point what kind of things I have to make a note about and what kind of steps do I have to take. So we will start with a couple of these questions and I'll try to explain how to perform in a proper moment. So mainly to-do list, what should I do? First steps, all right? So these are the key points in the beginning. Before, we have to clarify what's our aim, all right? So in terms of aim, we have to clarify what is our country that we are looking for. I mean, in which country we want to make our educational background as a master's degree or another bachelor degree or PhD. The second part is the reality. We mean on the terms of reality, the fact that what we want and what we actually can apply for are two different understandings. So everyone wants to go to the Harvard or to the different universities, which are well known in the worldwide. But in the fact, we have to understand that our GPA point is one of the requirements. Our IELTS point is another requirement. And at the end of the day, we have to understand that if we're not satisfying the required points, we just cannot apply to those places. So these are really crucial points. So we have to understand what's our GPA point, what is the requirement for the program that we want to apply, and what we can do in order to improve our background properties. Proper major choice. So this is another interesting point. So in our universities in Azerbaijan, unfortunately, most of the majors and their names are not properly planned, let's say like this. Like we have petroleum engineering background, right? It's just general petroleum engineering. But at the end of the day, when you will graduate, most of the companies, when they're informed on the social media or on other sources, if they are looking for an employee, they will never be informed that, okay, we are looking for a guy or for a student for the position petroleum engineer. No. You will see they are looking for a wireline, they are looking for MWD, they are looking for geoscientists, etc., etc. No one is looking for the petroleum engineers. So if we are making a major choice, we have to understand what kind of subjects we have passed during the bachelor year, the requirements in terms of credits, and can we apply for that one? I hope till this point everything is understandable. If someone is not understanding, please just let me know or put a text over there. If you need me to speak kind of slowly, it's okay for me, no problem. So the next point, requirements and wish list, we actually already covered with this point. Proper documentation, that's really crucial as well. So you have to understand if you're going to apply for any university abroad, you have to prepare the proper documentations. So you have to make the translations and officially approved ones. CGPA score, we'll talk about it. Language proficiency, the second point. Most of the students, they do think that, okay, our university provide English medium classes, and we do have a certificate from the university proving that our classes are covered in English. Some of the universities abroad, they do accept this paper, some of them don't. But at the end of the day, you have to understand one thing. Azerbaijan is the country where the main language is Azerbaijani, not in English, all right? And even in the classes, if your whole classes are in English, I do believe that some of the students still ask the teachers, "Müəllim, bunu başa düşmədim." Exactly like this, all right? So if it happens like this, it means that the whole process and the whole medium instructed in English is kind of false information. And people abroad, they are aware about it. Trust me, they are aware about it because they have seen so many students who brought the same documentation proving that the medium is in English. And during the classes, they have shown that their knowledge in English is really not that level that is required for the whole program. That's the whole thing. And as for sure, the next points are about motivational letters and recommendation letters. Does anyone have any question about these points for now? No? Good. Okay, we'll pass to the other one. So, motivational letter, how we have to prepare our motivational letters. First of all, we have to understand the requirements. Requirements noted by the administration office or administration university, any of them. So we have to understand what is the character or word limit over there, because most of the motivational letters, they do require you to pay attention to the word limit or character limit. Some of them will require you 500 word limits. Some of them will require you to put down maximum 150 or 300 words or maximum like that. So in this term, you have to make a note about this requirement. If you're going to exceed this, most probably you will not be able to upload it to a system because in most of the systems, it's just online and you have to copy and paste the same motivation letter over there. You will not be able to upload the motivation letter over there. So that's the crucial point. The second one, interest, aim, and target. You have to explain to the admission office or to the person who's going to read your motivation letter. You have to explain them understandably why you are applying to this major, why you are applying to this university, what's your aim, what your plans for the future, and what you are actually targeting, what this kind of education will give you. All right, so let's say if you're going to apply for the petroleum engineering in Heriot-Watt University, you have to explain them, okay, I want to go to this university as I know the software programs used over there, such as Petrel-GNG, which is a Schlumberger software, is really good for the reservoir planning. And unfortunately, back to my country, we don't have this kind of opportunities to use this kind of softwares. I do believe that the usage of these softwares will help me to improve my knowledge in reservoir planning. And in future, I will apply this knowledge when I will be back to my country, taking into account that Azerbaijan is the country where oil and gas industry is really improving day by day. Just as a sample, like nothing extraordinary. The proper statement is kind of very familiar with the interest, aim, and target, but still, at the end of the day, you have to explain them, okay, I have looked for your university, I have made a research about your university, about your faculty, about the whole medium that you are going to make a plan for the future students. And I do believe that this educational plan is the one that I'm looking for. And that one really will affect me positively in the future. And for sure, a conclusion. In conclusion, we'll have to put a couple of key points, which we will take from the body part. Somehow it's like really close to the IELTS writing part, but I have seen so many guys who had more than 8.0 from the IELTS exam.
I don't know, so get with me.
Guys?
Yes.
Hello?
We can hear you though.
Is everything okay?
Yes.
All right, so the next point is about the recommendation letters. The recommendation letter is really important part if you want to make your application as strong as you can. All right. First of all, it's really crucial from whom you're gonna get this recommendation letter. You have to pay attention. The person who will behave as your referee or the person who will provide you with the recommendation letter does have educational background, at least a PhD degree or associate professor degree, because it's really crucial for most of the application procedures. The second point, that person continuously checks his emails or her emails. All right, because there are so many new systems that uploading the reference letters to the system is not enough. In most of the cases, you just put down the data or the name or surname or email address of the person who will be your referee, and the system contacts with these referees by themselves. You just don't have any information about these procedures, and your referees have to submit your recommendation to the system. If the person doesn't use his or her email addresses, trust me, you'll just get screwed up very quickly. There are two cases about the reference letters. Some of the teachers or some of the referees, they will ask you, okay, we will provide you with a reference letter. There is no need to write them. We will write reference letters for you. Or they will tell you, okay, put down something, bring it to me. I will put my sign over there and I'll be your referee. This plan is for the second one. In order to write a proper reference letter, you have to explain them. You have to put down some points. Most of the students believe that if the reference letter is long, it means that their chances are really good. It's not true. In most of the reference letters, most of the cases, the referees, they try briefly explain that you as a student is a one who's trying his or her best in order to get the higher results. You are an active student inside the academic performances or outside the academic performances. It means some kind of training, some kind of presentations or events held by the university or outside the university. That's it. Like no one is going to tell you, okay, Elçin is a person or is a student who can fly. Like none of the referees will put this kind of information. So don't expect or don't ask your referees to put down anything extraordinary in your reference letter, because at the end of the day, when they will be an interview process, they will definitely ask you questions about your motivation letter and reference letters. And if you'll not be able to answer to these questions, you'll get screwed. That's the whole thing. All right, so the proper statements and conclusions is something almost as same as in the motivation letters. You have to put down that, okay, I do believe that this student will easily overcome any kind of obstacles or problems in this new educational program. I do believe in his or her skills, and that's it. At the end of the day, I can easily suggest this person or this student, him or her, doesn't matter, to this program. That's it. Like mostly one page is more than enough as a reference. So here you can see the sample and the key points that you have to pay attention. That's all. If there is any question about the motivation letter and reference letter,
I have a
I can
question.
explain them now, or could you please repeat some? Because
I have a question recommendation letter. About
right. Go.
I have a recommendation letter from my permanent teacher. In our university, we have two kinds of teachers, permanent teachers and the local teachers. And permanent teachers taught us 1 week, one whole week, and they came back to their country. And I have a recommendation letter from my permanent teachers. And my permanent teachers is have a bigger position at the total, and I think it can be help me for some way. But is one of my friends said me the permanent teachers reference is not high for accepting from university, because permanent teachers recognize you 1 week, but local teachers which taught you 1 semester is more how can I say, more important.
Is more preferable or important. Okay, I got the point. So the first point, what is the educational background of that teacher? Like, does that one hold any kind of PhD degree or something like that, or PhD candidate?
No, not PhD candidate. master's degree they have, and after
Okay.
master's degree they worked. And and one more thing, his background, his work place, he's also geoscience, reservoir engineering, and my specialty is also geoscience. It's related to each other.
Just a quick question. Do you study in a French Azerbaijani university?
Yes.
So in the French Azerbaijan University, I'm not sure about the whole program, but in most of the cases, you guys have some kind of problems over there because the program itself is not settled down fully. I have so many friends from over there, and most of them are really facing problems with the petroleum engineering or geoscience or reservoir engineering background because most of the classes or subjects are not properly chosen. That's another case. That's another case. So let's come back to your question. In order to explain this one, I just have to explain you that if the person, even if that person had the classes only for 1 week or 2 weeks, doesn't matter. If that person holds a degree, you can actually ask him or her for a reference letter. And as long as that person is an international teacher who has an international experience in terms of teaching or in terms of working, all right, that's really highly evaluated point. You'll never face any problem with this issue. Because I have so many students, even for this year, we have so many students from the French Azerbaijan University who asked from their instructors, even from those who had their online classes, they provided them with the reference letters and they didn't face any problem. So I hope this one explained to your question. The second point, if you're gonna ask for the local ones, please pay attention that these local ones should have a degree, at least PhD candidate, or associate professor or dean, doesn't matter. But at the same time, these guys have to check their email addresses quite often in order not to miss any kind of notifications about the submissions, about the data clarification, or in other points, right?
Okay, thank you. And I have one more thing. As you said, in our university, the students face some problems, but after 19 years students, these problems, they try to solve these problems. I know what you mean. For example, the petroleum engineering students have more petroleum related lessons than their own special lessons. For example, they have some more electromagnetism or renewable sciences lessons, and some students face some problems.
Yeah, I mean, it's not only with this one, but still, I've seen so many guys with a petroleum engineering background who had mainly classes in the chemistry or just in geology or geoscience. Even in the geoscience, the program that they passed, they didn't have understanding about the loggings and different kind of measurements. So I'm not trying to say anything about the educational system over there, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. I just made a kind of small mention about all these procedures.
Yes, I know.
But in terms of but in terms of references, I do believe that I could explain you how you should actually take your coverage in terms of these procedures. All right.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome, mate. If there is no questions about the other ones, I'm going to pass to the next page.
I have one more question about motivation letters.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
How diverse can be the motivation letter? I mean, for example, if there is someone who doesn't have any internship experience in his own field, petroleum engineering, for example, and the process of application is during the first semester. So he even doesn't have any practical experience from his own bachelor program. So how this guy can write his motivation letter? If he has a volunteering experience different and he has some activity, but this activity not closely related to his own field.
Okay, good one. And let me clarify a couple of things about it. First of all, just a simple stage before we will pass to the whole question, all right? So just imagine both of us are invited for the same job interview, and both of us were late for this interview, all right? And at the end of the day, most of us are asked the same question. Okay, why you guys are late for this interview? You can tell anything, like I was late, I had an accident, etc., etc., all right? But in this case, my profession will be, I'll try to explain them, okay, I left my home 1 hour prior to this interview appointment, but when I was on my way to this interview, I have seen a small kitten stuck in the tree who couldn't just come down. Instead of coming to the job interview, I made a decision, okay, I have to help this kitten. I climbed on tree, took this kitten, hugged him, brought it down, and that's why I had to waste a couple of minutes of my whole period in order to come over here on time. And that's why I was late for this job interview. And trust me, whatever the reason you will sound over there, my explanation will get accepted. You know, now we're coming to your question. No matter what kind of experience you do have, in terms of volunteering or in terms of professional background, if you cannot express this in the way that the person who will read that one will accept it, there is no meaning in having any kind of experience. Okay? Somehow, just try to get the point. The second option, understanding the fact that during the whole bachelor years, it's not actually common to get an opportunity to work on your professional background. Most of the people, they are just applying for the volunteering programs. But you have to clearly explain them what you get from these volunteering programs. Let's say you've been volunteering for the Formula One, all right? Like it's coming by default, almost 2 of 3 students, they are actually participating in this kind of volunteering programs. But the fact is, what kind of achievements did you get from these volunteering programs? Like team working, like working with the deadlines, like working under pressure, trying to improve your communication skills, problem solving skills, etc., etc. This is actually the main point. Like they're not waiting for the extraordinary skills from your side because you're a bachelor's degree student, all right? But the fact is how you're gonna express them. That's the whole thing. Some people can do this, some people cannot. In which group you are in, you have to make a choice, Mike.
Yes,
So I hope
thank you. And one more question. How far the specialty of petroleum engineering could be diverse, like to change the specialty for the master degree?
You can pass to the mechanical engineering, you can pass to the renewable engineering, energy major, you can go through the reservoir engineering, you can go to the geoscience or geology, you can even go to the mining. Like,
And
okay, just go on.
and also the government program is now opening, as we know, till the 2030. They should 400 students per year sent to the top 500 universities, as far as I know, with the requirement to work in Azerbaijan 5 years. So
the requirement list is not published yet. The list of the countries, the list of the universities is not published yet. Yeah, so it's just kind of rumors that are going around and just spreading day by day. Nothing officially.
And I just want to know your opinion and your, as I know, in 2013 you were participated through the government line. So can you please share your experience with the government line to get the master degree?
Actually, there's nothing extraordinary over there. The only thing they require you is meet the requirements. So I'm not sure about this program, but for the 2015 study abroad program organized by the governmental Ministry of Education, the requirements were faced at least 6 or 6.5 IELTS degree, IELTS points, plus 75 or 80 CGPA points, and you have to get an offer, at least a conditional offer from the university, and that university should be in the list of the whole universities and countries published by the Minister of Education. That's it. Like, there were not any kind of extraordinary requirements, and at the same time, the state governmental exams, when you're finishing the school, in order to enter the university, your entrance exam result, maybe in some cases that number 500 or 550. I'm not sure about it, but back to those days, the requirement was not that high. It was somewhere around 500 points for the entrance exam. But for this year, or for the program that you're actually informing, an official requirement list is not published yet. So no one actually can tell anything special in terms of this program. Because we don't have the list of universities, we don't have the list of countries that are actually acceptable, and we don't have any information about the requirements. So what kind of CGPA requirement they will put over there, what kind of IELTS requirement they will ask you to provide, what kind of entrance exam result you should have. Maybe it's gonna be SAT result, maybe it will be at least not less than 500 points as an entrance exam result. I don't have any information about these points. I think no one actually has any information about these ones. As long as we don't have information about these points, I think it's going to be pointless to talk about it. But overall, the program doesn't require you to do anything extraordinary. Just to apply for the university, get your offer letter, and apply with this offer letter to the program. That's it. They will just ask you for an interview. It's going to be a quick or short one. Why this university? What are your intentions? Are you going to come back? For sure, you're going to come back, because for now, they do have a requirement. You have to come back to Azerbaijan and work over here, at least for 5 years. When I was going over there with the same program, we did have the requirement as well. But at the same time, we were informed that we are actually interested in that you're going to stay over there and work for the companies, for the real big companies, and they represent our country, you know. It's because, let's take as a sample, let's talk about Russia. In most of the places, Azerbaijan and Azerbaijanis are known as the people who are working in the trade centers, who are just good in trading, and that's it. Yeah, but in comparison with that one, the government is interested in that the students who study over there abroad, with our financial support, they will keep their activities over there. They will stay over there, and they will start working for the program on purpose to represent our country. Okay. For me, for my personal understanding, it's always better to represent your country as a employee of a global company in comparison as a taxi driver. I don't mean anything against taxi driving. I don't have anything against working in a trade center, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, if we are talking about the governmental interests, we have to satisfy this interest, right? We have to satisfy these requirements. And I don't believe that the government will make a big problem for the students if they will be able to find a job in a global companies, in a good positions, and they will ask them, okay, this is my position, I'm working for this company. Is there any kind of possibility to make an exception for my case? I think there will be some exceptions. I do believe in it, because otherwise the Ministry of Education have to provide them with the job places. And in Azerbaijan, taking into account the current reality, it's going to be hard stuff. So that's my personal opinion about it.
Yes, thank you very much.
Welcome, Mike. Does anyone have any kind of questions about the applying or reference letters or motivation letters? Because like these are really general information. Like if we're gonna go deep, 1 hour will not be enough for this one, definitely. But at least I believe that this one will give you proper information how you're gonna plan your future steps, how you will make your planning in terms of education abroad, etc., etc. Just before you will do it, kind of suggestion, but still the decision is on your side. Understand the fact that reality and your wish list, they do differ, all right? They're not the same. I want to study somewhere is the one question where I can study of my taking into account my CGPA point, taking into account my IELTS result, taking into account my background experience, the activity that I took part, the events that I took part, my certifications, etc., etc. This is another question. So in order to make a choice, a proper choice, you have to understand the difference between these two. If not, you will face a lot of problems.
We have several questions in chat box.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna check them now. So what do you think, which one is the best, more opportunities here? Let me tell you something. If you are trying to apply for a operation company, you will be able to find a job in all of these opportunities, like reservoir engineers, geologists, or drilling engineer. But you have to understand, being a drilling engineer, you have to pass special courses, and these courses are not taught at universities. Definitely, 100%. But geologists, reservoir engineers, they are somehow available to apply for just with your background information, background education. For a drilling engineer, you cannot apply just taking into account only your background education. It's not possible. You have to pass special courses. Otherwise, it's not gonna be a good option for you. And about the chances, opportunities, you have to clarify, are you applying for the service company or are you applying for the operation company? Because operation companies, there are not too many of them in Azerbaijan. Like SOCAR, like BP, Statoil was over here before, but now they're not doing anything. Maybe there will be Total, maybe there will be Petronas in future. I'm not sure about them. But currently we do have a couple of them now, like Caspian Drilling, KSA Deutek, and that's Turan Drilling. Not the KSA, but it was previously KSA, but now Turan Drilling. So the number of operation companies, they're not that big. So if you do believe in your knowledge, all right, give it a try. And another one, do universities accept IELTS general training or it's for job use on migration? IELTS, do you mean the general IELTS or IELTS general training? I just didn't get the point. Like, if you mean the general IELTS, none of the university will accept general IELTS certificate. Mainly, they are looking for the academic IELTS results. If we're talking about Canada, and if you mean the express entry program, they are actually asking you to provide them with the general IELTS. This is completely different one in comparison with the academic IELTS. Somehow, better to make a research on the internet and try to understand the difference between general IELTS and the academic IELTS. These are really two different things.
I have one more question.
Yeah, no problem.
Which which opportunity do you think is better, like your own opinion, the China University of Petroleum through government line or the University of Miskolc through government line in Hungary for petroleum engineers still?
Okay. My personal opinion,
Yes.
you don't have any operational companies in Hungary. You don't have any petroleum companies in Hungary. They don't have operations. I used to live over there for 1.5 years. I tried to apply for different kind of companies. Most of the companies, I mean, there was the known oil and gas industry companies. They just do financial stuff over there. They don't have operations. The only company they have in Hungary, it's MOL. And I'm not sure when the MOL as a company will start for the operations. In terms of theoretical knowledge, most of them are good as an option. But in terms of getting an opportunity to work as an internship or at least apply for the companies, at least try yourself in this industry, China is the better option because they do have some operations going on over there.
Right. And I will remember and ask you. I had one more question.
No problem. So You do have my LinkedIn account over there. So if you guys have any kind of questions, you can ask them, or you can easily just come over here to the office and ask your questions. It's completely up to you. So does anyone have any kind of question, or they want to clarify a couple of things? You can just go on.
Yeah, I have a question about your company. Can you please give a brief information how you generally work with students, how you help them to apply, what are actually kind of the things you do to help them?
Yeah, right. So first of all, we have to clarify to which program they do apply for. If they're applying for the bachelor degree, we try to explain them the opportunities in terms of scholarship or non-scholarship, because students have to make a decision. If they are planning all the scholarship options, or they are actually good with the personal self-funding issue. These are two different things. And if they are planning, okay, as a backup option, if they are planning to make a choice on a self-funding, they have to clarify about the amount of the payment, because tuition fees, they do really vary, starting from the 1,500 euros to 23.6 thousand pounds, taking into account the UK prices. So you have to clarify with that one. In our case, we try to explain them what kind of programs they can actually make a choice on, in terms of scholarships or in terms of personal self-funding. We do provide them with the motivation letters. We do provide them with the reference letters. We actually can provide you with the reference letter, but you have to give us the details of the person who you note as your referee. Like, I cannot be your referee, but I can put down a good reference letter for you if that person will put his or her sign over there, and if that person will explain and will answer to the emails. And we will apply for the programs. We know how to apply for these programs, because, you know, some people think that, okay, these guys, I don't want to tell anything common in terms of this kind of companies, but we're actually not doing anything extraordinary. All right, we're not doing anything extraordinary. We're not doing some kind of new inventions over here. The job we do is, some of the students, they don't have to do the job. They are working, they don't have enough time to make research on these topics. They come to us, or some students, they just don't know what to do. They're not sure about their results. They're not sure about their choices. They just want to try. And the third group, which are mainly our target group, they had some kind of problems with their previous companies that they were working with. And for this year, they tried to make a change, to make something new, and they just came to us. But at the end of the day, we try to support them with the motivation letters, with the reference letters. We try to give them brief information and the detailed information about the possible programs, what kind of requirements do these programs have, and try to help them to satisfy these requirements. I think it's enough.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Mike. And the other one is, what's your opinion about Italy for petroleum engineering? Well, I think they do have petroleum engineering. They do have offshore engineering in a couple of universities over there. They have energy engineering in Italian universities, a couple of them. Mainly, it's good. Azerbaijan and Italy actually have good relationship in terms of petroleum exchanging, because it will take a look in a statistical points. But Italy is one of the biggest countries and one of the first countries who are actually buying lots of oil and gas industry stuff from Azerbaijan. So why not? Yeah, just do it right. But if you're asking about the scholarship programs in Italy, you do have three opportunities. Either you're going to apply for University of Talent program, you have to be graduated for this program. You can apply for the regional scholarship or need-based scholarship. And the third option is the MyAG. It's called MyAG, yeah, with the Minister of External Affairs, Foreign Affairs, yeah, with the Minister of Foreign Affairs. In most of the cases, it's organized by them. So you have to make a choice. Which universities are preferred generally? Padua University is good. Bologna is good. Genoa is good. Politecnico di Milano is good with this one. Politecnico di Torino is the good one. And they are really top ones. And most of the universities in Italy, they do provide you with the internal scholarship as well. This is called merit scholarship, and they do require you to give a GRE result, a general GRE result. Yeah, you have to provide them with the GRE result. And just addition to this point, if you want to increase your academic result, you have to get GRE. Because most of the cases students are asking, okay, if I'll get 8.0 or 8.5 IELTS points, will this help me during the application procedure? Trust me not. Because there's a certain requirement. If the requirement says that you as a candidate should have B2 level of English knowledge, which is starting from the 6.0 points from the IELTS and 80 points as a TOEFL IBT. It means anyone who has at least 6.0 IELTS score can apply for this program, and there will not be any kind of differences between the person who has the 6.5 IELTS result or who has the 8.5 IELTS result. They will look for the academic part. And as your academic result, if you want to increase this part, you have to get GRE. You have to have higher CGPA score. You have to have GRE. You have to have good recommendation letters, and for sure the motivation.
Which type of certificates can be provided for the additional documents while applying?
The additional documentation part.
Yes.
So it actually varies depending on your faculty or major that you're applying for. But anyway, if you don't have anything professional, okay, for now in LinkedIn, you can see that almost everyone and every day shares my next achievement, my next personal achievement. I have done blah, 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 this kind of certification, of course, on Coursera or on other free sources. These are good, but these are not extraordinary. You know, like in the process of applications, this kind of certificates, in most of the cases, people just don't pay attention to those ones. And almost everyone can get those ones. But if you get international well-controlled certificate, now I can talk about this one. Like now we can accept this fact. Now we can say, okay, this guy has something extraordinary. So you have to understand the difference between the certificates. That's the key point. Like bringing out all of those certificates gathered from the online sources. Today I have passed this one, tomorrow I will pass the other one. These are not special ones. As an information, okay, these ones will help you to improve yourself. But at the end of the day, the application procedure will not have anything with this. They will not deal with that one, definitely 100%.
And what should be written on CV?
And what should be?
As a bachelor student.
Okay, as a bachelor student, I will tell you this. First of all, the structure of your CV. In most of the cases, the universities or the programs, they require you to have Europass CV standard. Okay. Second point, whatever you have done, you have to put some bullet points over there. All right. So as a background, there's nothing too much to do over there. But as an SPE treasurer or etc., you can put some very good bullet points over there. Like I was in charge of organizing this kind of events. I was in charge of organizing different kind of field trips, etc., etc. And through these events, I had an opportunity to meet with the professionals from, let's say, Schlumberger, Baker Hughes, Halliburton, etc., etc. The other thing about your certificates, this shows your out of academic activities. You know, like, you've got some international well control certificate. That's really good. You got your volunteering certificate, your CV as well. But on a bachelor degree, there are nothing. There's nothing too much to put over there, unfortunately. Like taking into account the realities in our country, most of the companies they are looking in the best options. They are looking for the interns, and the internship procedures, elections over there are really tough. So unfortunately, it is what it is. A little bit to write about the activities of volunteer organizations, or just mention the names of volunteers. You can actually do the both of them, but if I was you, I would definitely put the name of the organization and my responsibilities over there. Because being a volunteer, it doesn't mean you just went over there and had your fun. You had some responsibilities as a volunteer. So you have to clearly explain what kind of responsibilities you did have over there, what kind of jobs you performed over there as a volunteer. So that's the point that the person who will read your CV will pay attention, not to the name. Like maybe they will pay attention to the names of the organizations, but at the end of the day, they are interested in you as a person. They're not interested in the companies because they're gonna hire you, not the company.
I have one more question about CV, about sport achievements. This is also some kind of outdoor activity out of university. So should I mention that there are, for example, European Championship for basketball or whatever?
You can actually put down a special point where it notes about your personal achievements. There is no need to put extraordinary or some special out of university activities part. You can just put down personal achievements and mention about it over there. It's a really good one. It does really affect positively most of the application forms. Maybe not in Azerbaijan, but if you're gonna apply for a role, this will play a huge role in terms of positive feedback.
Thank you.
All right.
Do you have any information about petroleum economics master degrees?
It's something like energy management or petroleum engineering or engineering management, something like that.
Do we need some extra credits of economics for this program?
For this one, you have, my suggestion is to go to the direct admission office webpage and check about their requirements. Like, because for now, we don't have any students who are applying for the petroleum economy.
Petroleum economics.
We don't have any students who are applying for the petroleum economy. We do have some students who are applying for engineering management. And for sure, it's kind of a special part. They do have some management requirements in terms of credits, but you can compensate them with taking some couple of subjects when you'll be over there. You have to clarify these issues with the admission office.
Okay.
Another question is, should I write about job experience even if I did not match my major? Yeah, why not? Like, it's really normal. You can actually make a division like background related or like relevant job experience or irrelevant job experience. Like for me personally, I made my personal CV in that way. I made a relevant job experience part and non-relevant job experience part. So here I just mentioned a lot of things. I had the opportunity to work for the Baku 2015, Baku 2017, Formula One. Even when I was young, starting on the second year, I was working for the hotels. It's normal, so it's not non-relevant job experience, but still it is an experience. It does prove that you have an ability to work with the deadlines, to work with the people, you have communication skills, you have some skills about the working under pressure. So it is what it is. No one is going to get you to the job without any experience, unfortunately. In Azerbaijan, it's like this. Parviz, did you get the result? I mean, like, did you get the answer? Do you have anything else? All right, okay, you're welcome. So, okay. All right. So, thanks for all. You're welcome, right? Does anyone have any questions? No, I will just pass to the last one. Okay. All right, looks like everyone is fine. I want to have any kind of question.
No question.
All right. Who had the question? Okay, all right. So if you guys don't have any questions, it's all from my side. I hope I could explain and answer to your questions. Thanks for your comment. And if you have any opportunity to get together and to organize something like that in future, just let me know. I'll be glad to take part in it. And thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We are very grateful to have you with us. Thank
No
you.
problem. You're welcome, man. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So we can finish our first day. That's all. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you for your activity. And